Hey there, John Gibson here, and today I want to talk to you about core training and share some of the best exercises you can do and kind of hopefully get rid of some misconceptions. I've got my wife here, she's giving me my model and show you some of the exercises, but there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to core training, and I hear this a lot. People are doing some sort of a core program because they want to either shrink their waist or get rid of the belly fat there, and the truth is that doesn't work that way. Doing core exercises will not shrink your waist and make it smaller. All it's going to do is make it stronger. It will not get rid of the belly fat in that area. So we want to make sure we're doing core training the right way to help you strengthen your core, do what it's actually there for, so that we can actually get you stronger or help you develop in areas that are going to make your waist look smaller. Okay, that's kind of the goal with all of this. So again, core training does not shrink your waist. In all honesty, it's going to make it bigger if you do it the wrong way. And the wrong way would be your sit-ups, crunches, and things like that, which we are not going to do. Okay, so today I want to show you one exercise, and we're going to show you some progressions on how you can do that, how you can make it better, how you can make it so it's a little bit easier if you need to, but also make it more challenging if you need to. So we can go either direction with this. So first one we're going to do, you'd see it called a plank. It's called a pillar. I've also heard it called iso abs. Most people know it as a plank. I prefer pillar, but there's a lot of different names for it, but the idea is, here we go. So Amy's going to get down into her pillar position. So I want to kind of pull out some common things, and she's going to get tired doing this. I'm going to have her holding this position, so we'll have to take some breaks in the middle of this. But right now she's doing pretty good with this. If you notice right here, her upper back is kind of rounded just a little bit. So here, watch what she just did. She lifted her head, and right away that dropped. That's one common thing, is people will put their head down, which will make this area pop up. Now that's going to take some emphasis off your low back or your abdominal area. So another thing I want you to do, make sure that your glutes are tight. So you squeeze your glutes, you squeeze your shoulder blades actually is what I want to see with this. And what that does is it's going to tighten this whole area here. Okay, now another common mistake that people make is right here. They put our hips way too high. Now what this does is it actually takes pressure off of your abdominals. So we drop your hips down, again, squeeze the glutes, squeeze your shoulder blades here, and it keeps everything nice line. So what I want to see is a straight line from your shoulder to your hips all the way down to your ankles. Okay, now another common mistake that you might see is something like this. Notice that her arm is out here way in front. You want the shoulders, the elbows, to be directly underneath your shoulders. And that way it's not putting pressure on your arms, because we don't want this an arm exercise. We want it an abdominal exercise. Now what I want to do is move it to some digressions. So things that are a little bit easier. So if that core, that plank for you is too challenging, let's move it down just a little bit, so something that's a little bit easier for you to do, and then we'll work our way up to being able to do that abdominal exercise, that plank. Okay, so the first one I'm going to have Amy do is what I call a knee plank. So she just comes down, now she's on her knees. Now notice what I'm having her do. See, right here, just like before, she's got a straight line from her shoulder to her hip down to her knee. Okay, we want something like that. The other thing she can do is just raise her hips up just a little bit. Keep your leg down, raise your hips up. There you go. So even though we have a bend in her hip, for some people there's a muscle that connects from the front of your leg up to basically up to your spinal cord. And for some people that muscle is tight. And so if we have her go straight, it may actually aggravate that muscle or cause that muscle to put a bow in her back. So cause her to round her back too much or to arch her back too much. So what I want her to do is maybe be in a position like this where we're taking pressure off that muscle and we are challenging her abdominals. Okay, now the next progression up from this exercise, from the kneeling plank, is what I call a march. Now, so all she's going to do is come up, put one leg down, other leg down, then she's going to keep marching with this. Right now her form is really good. She's doing great. Again, we want to watch, make sure she's not rounding her back, her hips aren't coming up too high. So there we go. Okay, so now let's move into the progressions and how we can make this exercise a little bit more challenging. Because here's the thing, I don't want you doing a plank exercise for longer than 30 seconds. I've seen people doing them for minutes, 2 minutes, and they feel like the only way to make it harder is to go longer. To me, that's boring. Why would I want to spend more time on an exercise when I can just make it more challenging and get the same effect or better effects in less time? So what we're going to do is progress the exercise, make it a little bit more challenging. So the way that I would do this, honestly, is go for 30 seconds, and once you can do this exercise for 30 seconds, move it up to the next progression. And then do that until you can do the next progression for 30 seconds. Once you can do that, move to the next progression. And they keep going up until you find, and we've got crazy exercises we could do with this. These are just, I'm just showing you 4 or 5 exercises, I guess right now, 5 progressions, but we could take this out about 10 or so progressions if we wanted to, add some cool tools to it and different things, but we're just gonna stick with this for right now for this video. So what we're gonna have her do now is we're gonna have her do what I call a leg lift. Now, all she does is just alternates raising her legs up, and what this does is now puts this rotational stress on her core, so it makes it more challenging on it. Okay, so she just raises one leg up, sets it back down, and again maintains that good posture that she's keeping through her spine. Okay, so now with this next one, we're gonna do an arm raise. So she's gonna assume the same position, and then she's going to raise one arm and then the next. But this exercise is actually a lot more challenging than it looks. Important things, notice that she put her feet really, really wide. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but she spread her legs out really wide. The wider your legs, the easier it is. And this exercise right here, you could actually make a little bit harder just by taking your feet together. So notice that she raises one arm up, sets it down, raises the other. But if you can see her hips, as she does it, her hips are rocking side to side. I would not have Amy do this exercise because of that reason. Having your hips rock side to side makes the exercise, or it doesn't challenge your core the way it needs to. So again, one important thing with our core is that the whole goal is to not move our spine, but to keep it stable. So with her rocking side to side, now she's trying to make the exercise a little bit easier, and it's almost, in a way, she's kind of cheating. So again, I would not have her do this exercise because her core is not quite ready for that. So it may take you a little while to get up to that. And another way to make that exercise a little more challenging, so once you get to the arms, you're raising your arms up, is start bringing your feet closer together until eventually you can either do it on one foot or your feet are right next to each other. If you can do that exercise without rocking side to side, you're actually doing pretty amazing. So be happy with something at that point. So again, we've got those four progressions. We've got your doing the plank on your knees. We've got your marching with your knees. We've got your regular plank. Then we have doing your leg lifts and then your arm lifts. And from then, there's other progressions that we could go into, but I would just stick with those ones for right now, just to make your plank exercises a lot more fun. All right, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot. Now, I have something more for you. Now, a lot of people have these weird, crazy misconceptions about their metabolism. So what I've done is I put together a training for you showing you exactly how to make your metabolism work for you. Because there's so many metabolism myths out there. The things that people believe that are actually hurting them by trying to increase their metabolism or by doing certain things they feel will actually help their metabolism, they're hurting their metabolism. Have you ever tried to lose weight and felt like it just wouldn't work? Maybe it's because you're doing the wrong things. Maybe it's because you're hurting your metabolism instead of helping it. So in this free training, I'll break down some of the major metabolism myths that are keeping you from losing the fat you want to lose. Now, to get your hands on this free training, all you need to do is go to fatlossevolution.com/metabolism. Now again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I can be the person to help you achieve your fat loss goals. I'll talk to you later. Make today a great day. Thank you.